Please don't forget that your life is also meant to be enjoyed, not just endured, not just managed, not just sacrificed for others, enjoyed. You have been so busy taking care of everyone else, your partner, your children, your parents, your boss, your friends. You've been so busy meeting deadlines, solving problems, keeping the peace, showing up, saying yes, fixing things, holding everything together, and somewhere along the way, you forgot about you. Subscribe if you want to understand the machinery behind your own mind. Please don't forget that you are allowed to be happy. Not when everything is perfect, not when everyone else is taken care of, not when you have earned it, right now. You are allowed to enjoy your life right now, not later, not when things calm down, now. You have been telling yourself a story. The story says that your needs come last, that your joy is selfish, that rest is lazy, that fun is frivolous, that you will have time for yourself when there is time. But there is never time. There is never perfect time. There is only now. And now is slipping away while you wait. If this resonates, hit subscribe, because you need a reminder that you are not a machine. You are a human being, and human beings are meant to feel joy, not just function. Why do you forget to live for yourself? The psychology is clear. You have been conditioned to equate self-sacrifice with goodness. The person who gives everything is the good person. The person who takes nothing for themselves is the noble person. The person who is always available, always helpful, always cheerful, that is the ideal. But that ideal is a lie. It is a recipe for burnout, resentment, and a life half-lived. The most common regret of the dying is not that they did not work harder, it is that they did not live a life true to themselves. They lived the life others expected. They said yes when they wanted to say no. They put everyone else first, and at the end they realized that their own life had passed them by while they were busy living for everyone else. Please don't let that be you. So how do you start living for yourself? How do you remember that your life is also meant to be enjoyed? First, you notice where you have disappeared. Look at your calendar. How much of your time is spent on things you actually want to do? How much is spent on obligation, duty, or guilt? Be honest. The truth will hurt, but the truth will also set you free. Second, you give yourself permission. Permission to rest, permission to say no, permission to disappoint people, permission to be unavailable, permission to enjoy yourself, permission to do something just because it makes you happy, not because it is productive, not because it helps someone else, because it is yours. Third, you schedule your joy. This sounds strange. Joy should not be scheduled, but you have proven that if you do not schedule it, it will not happen. So put it in the calendar. 1 hour this week for something you love. A walk, a book, a coffee alone, a hobby you abandoned. Protect that hour like you would protect a meeting with your boss. Your joy is that important. Fourth, you stop apologizing for existing. You say sorry for taking up space. You say sorry for having needs. You say sorry for saying no. Stop. You are not a burden. Your needs are not an inconvenience. Your joy is not a distraction. You are allowed to exist without apology. Fifth, you practice saying no. Start small. No to the extra task. No to the social obligation you dread. No to the favor you do not have time for. No is not mean. No is a boundary. No is how you protect your life. No is how you make space for yes to what matters. Sixth, you remember the clock. You are not guaranteed tomorrow. You are not guaranteed next year. You are not guaranteed old age. The only moment you have is now, and now is too precious to spend entirely on everyone else. Here's what happens when you remember that your life is also meant to be enjoyed. You stop resenting the people you sacrificed for. Resentment comes from giving too much. When you start taking care of yourself, you have more to give without bitterness. Your relationships improve not because you give more, but because you give from a full cup instead of an empty one. You start feeling alive again. The exhaustion lifts, the gray haze clears. You remember what it feels like to look forward to something, to laugh, to feel excitement, to be present. That is not selfish. That is being human. You start making better decisions. When you are not burned out, you think clearly. You set better boundaries. You prioritize better. You live better. Joy is not the enemy of productivity. Joy is the fuel of it. You start liking yourself again, not because you are productive enough or helpful enough or selfless enough, because you are finally treating yourself like someone who matters. And that feeling is worth more than any approval you were chasing. You have spent enough time forgetting yourself. You have said yes too many times. You have pushed your joy to the bottom of the list. You have told yourself you will live when there is time. But there is never time. There is only now. And now is too precious to spend entirely on everyone else. Please don't forget that your life is also meant to be enjoyed. Not after the project, not after the kids are grown, not after retirement. Now, this week, today, one small thing, 1 hour, one joy. You matter. Your happiness matters. Your life is not just for others, it is for you. If you are ready to stop living for everyone else and start enjoying your own life, subscribe. Every week we explore not just how the mind works, but how to make it work for you, not the sacrifice, the joy. Thank you for listening. I'll see you in the next one.